Hey, what's going on? Aaron Murray here with the Players On for another great episode. Hope you and your family had a great Christmas, a great holiday time. And we got some extra presents this week on the show. I have some really fun guests. Going to be breaking down what's going on in college football and get you ready for the bowl season as well. It's going to start off first with Tyler Booker, offensive lineman from the University of Alabama. They got the Sugar Bowl this weekend. Excited to see what they can do. They got their quarterback back. They got their top defensive player back. How excited is that football team? We're going to be asking him that, and then what they're going to be doing there down in New Orleans. Have a little bit of fun before that game, and then Rod Robinson, 4-star running back, committed to the University of Georgia, going to be showing up to Athens here in the next couple of weeks to start his journey off as a Bulldog RBU. He's going to be joining the show to discuss his recruitment and his overall excitement to jump on board there in Athens. For that, let's get to our first guest. Let's bring in Tyler Booker, offensive lineman from the University of Alabama. All right, we're going to go to Alabama and the Crimson Tide here as they get ready for their big Sugar Bowl game this weekend versus Kansas State. I actually will be on the call for ESPN radio. So if you're driving around, want to listen to the game, tune in, listen to your boy. We're going to be having some fun. I can't wait to get to New Orleans. But we're going to bring in our next guest, Tyler Booker, offensive lineman for the University of Alabama. Tyler, man, you pumped to get to New Orleans, have a little bit of fun, a little, I guess not Mardi Gras action, but go get them beads?
Definitely. I'm very excited. First and foremost, definitely excited to do a show what we have, prove a point. Kind of felt like we got snubbed in the playoff. So our whole attitude is just like prove everybody wrong and show everybody what we have. But obviously, when the work is done, we're going to have some fun.
Oh, yeah. Listen, the bowl games are a treat. They're experience, especially if you get to go to a bowl game like that. Like if you go to Florida or the big ones, like, the game in New Orleans. It's a good blend of having some fun and obviously Saban knows what the heck he's doing. He's been to a million of these, and I'm sure you guys will have some interesting curfew times at times. But have you been to New Orleans before?
No, I haven't.
Oh, buddy. All right. So have you guys have you made any sort of itinerary of like, okay, this is when we got some off time, these are off nights, any dinner reservations, or are you just gonna wing it?
We're just gonna wing it, I feel like if you have a schedule with a trip like this, you'll be too worried about getting the places on time, and we're just gonna let the wind take us, and we'll find out what we do when we get there.
Yeah, I would feel like Nick Saban and how much he's so like on a regiment, on a schedule, that you would just feel like that's like a part of your life, like for an Alabama kid. Like, okay, I'm so used to being like here at this time, so I'm gonna go out there and make reservations. But hey, you know what? Cut loose, have some fun. My wife has already made our reservation, so my butt better be ready for Thursday and Friday night dinner time. It's a little date night, so we'll have some fun down there in New Orleans. How was Christmas too? I forgot to even ask. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, whatever else you celebrate. Happy holidays. Did Santa bring you some coal, or did Santa bring you some Christmas this holiday season?
He brought me some Christmas, but I get more excited about giving now. I got my mom and sister some pretty good gifts. Got my dad a little something. I bought my little brother a pair of Jordans. So I get more excited about giving.
All right. So what did you get though? Like, what was your number one gift you received?
My mom got me a pair of Dolce & Gabbana glasses. Those are probably the best ones.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you'll be rocking that New Orleans then. So if I'll see you walking around the main street there with some Dolce glasses. All right, big time. What shoes are we wearing with those?
Probably might go designer. I'm not gonna tell you which. It's gonna be a pop out. I've been having the post game fit plan for weeks, so I'll post pictures and y'all gonna see that. Y'all just gotta check it out. Y'all look out.
All right, but what? All right, so what's the plane trip dress then? Are you guys wear like a jumpsuit, or do you guys get to kind of get fancy a little bit? Put on your suit and jacket, or whatever the hell you want to wear. Put your fancy glasses on, get some J's on. What's your ultimate? Man, we're about to go to the Sugar Bowl. This is one of the best bowl games out there. Prime time, ESPN, all that good stuff. Like, what are you wearing on the flight to New Orleans?
So all the other games, whenever we fly, we have to be suited and booted. Suit, tie, nice pair of dress shoes, nice belt. That's when the guys get all fancy. But on this trip, where I'm just allowed to travel in our travel suits, the regular sweatshirt, sweatpants, and team issued shoes. So I don't have to worry about that this trip.
Man, I'm always torn because it's always obviously a lot more comfy to wear the jumpsuit compared to a suit, but it is nice to get, walking off the plane, arrive in New Orleans, you got the, Dolce glasses, you got the
Yes.
nice fresh suit on, kind of makes you feel pretty good. Sticking on that topic, like who is the best dressed player on the team for away trips and what makes their attire so good?
Probably Elias Ricks because he's always gonna have a pop of color that you just wouldn't expect, and it's always different. Like you can count on Elias being the most different than everybody while still being within the rules. Everybody might have on. Oh, I might have on a Revelation. Somebody else might have on a Revelation. Elias is gonna be the only person wearing what he's wearing that weekend. Every weekend.
All right, for you, you're a big guy. What are you? You're like 6'4", 6'5", 3 bills. How tough is it to get the balance of finding something that looks good, feels good? Like, I mean, it ain't easy. Like, you just can't go to some store and say, okay, this fits me. This looks damn good. Let me go put it on. Like, I'm sure there's a lot more work for you to be able to dress to impress on these trips.
Definitely, it's a whole lot more work. But me, I'm the kind of guy that will sacrifice comfort for looks. So if my pants are a little tight and I gotta be careful how I move, it's gonna be worth it when the pictures come out. So I'm all about sacrifice for the greater good.
Yeah, it's a classic fat man. I'm not calling you fat here, but just from the movie, fat man in a little suit kind of mentality. You better be a little tight. Just don't bend over too much that things may rip. I can't talk. I've had too many damn cookies over the past week. My shirt's right now is a little tight. Plus, I got a little dad bod going on. New Year's resolution: no more sugar, no more damn sugar. Um, is this your first bowl trip, Tyler?
Yeah, it is. It's definitely my
Okay,
first boat trip.
that's a hell of a first bowl trip.
It is.
What's your overall excitement? Any jitters with it, or what is your expectation of what a bowl trip should be like?
Um, I don't want to sound cliche, but just go have a good time. You also have to keep in mind what you're there to do. We're ultimately there to go dominate the other team, but this is a once in a lifetime experience. So you just have to take advantage of all the free time that we get and make sure that we're really making memories like as a brotherhood.
Well, first, I was super excited to see your two guys come back. Bryce and Will playing the football game. Like, you talk about making memories. I always tell people, like, the bowl game were some of the best weeks of my time at the University of Georgia. Like, we had so much fun, and like the game was a cherry on top. Like, the game was great, but like it's a free trip with you and your boys to some really badass location. Like, why not take advantage of it? And I get the whole getting ready for the NFL, or knock on wood, getting hurt, getting banged up, but it's a great opportunity, man, to hang out with your boys one last time before everyone kind of goes their own way. Um, how excited were you when you knew that, hey, Bryce and Will are going to be playing in this game as you get ready for Kansas State?
I was very excited, and I never truly believed that they would opt out, contrary to what other people are saying, what everybody else is telling them to do. Like, why didn't they sit out? I was like, no, just knowing the type of leaders that they are, it would have first surprised me for them to sit out. But I'm just blessed to have them as leaders, blessed to be able to share the field with both of them, and I wish them the best of luck on the next level. But this week we're gonna go out and ball out one last time together.
I hope they ball out. I think it just sends such a good message to the rest of college football that, man, you can go have some fun playing the bowl game, and then obviously those two will probably get drafted in the top 5 picks in the NFL draft come this upcoming spring, which will be awesome to see. You live in a very different world in college football. I mean, it's mind blowing to me to see these guys in the portal leaving. And I'm not going to ask you about your guys on your team that have left or decided to hit the portal, any of that good stuff. But just how different is it being a college football player right now, in your opinion, because of everything that's going on? I mean, it kind of, to me, it feels like you have to feel like you're a professional because of the free agency, because of the ability to make money, all that good stuff. Do you guys feel like professional athletes, or is there still a mentality of somewhat amateurism here?
I feel like we've essentially become professional athletes at this point. Since the transfer portal has come into play, what's really the difference between the NFL and college football? Obviously, the gameplay and guys to play for longer, but we're able to make money off of our name, image, and likeness now, and we have a say in where we play, essentially. So we're pretty much professionals at this point. And I feel like since we are professionals, we should eventually, once the deals get wrinkled out as NIL becomes more prevalent and the rules become more set in stone, I feel like just like the NFL, we should get a piece of the TV deals as college football athletes because that only goes to the school. And there should be something where it should be set up where we actually have to get paid by the school or CBS or whoever is broadcasting the game because ultimately we're the ones bringing all the numbers, all the ratings. So I feel like once we're essentially professionals and we should get treated like it in all aspects of NIL.
I'm with you, man. Especially these bowl games too. Like I'm sure you've heard the rumors around. Like, hey, if you want these kids to play in these bowl games and you don't want them opting out, give them some money, man. Pay the kids. Like, you agree? Like, you guys are the entertainment. We are tuning on to watch you, and you see these mega deals that, like, the SEC signed with Disney and ESPN. You see the Big Ten and their mega deal with Fox and CBS and NBC, and the Big 12 just signed their big deal with ESPN as well, and I believe Fox. So there's plenty of money going around. There's plenty of people stuffing it, while you guys are only asked to play more games and put your body on the line week in and week out. So yeah, man, get your money while you can, because you never know how long that career is going to last. Well, man, hey, listen, I know you got to get ready to catch a flight. I appreciate you jumping on with us. Safe travels. Like I told you before the show, if I see you wandering the streets of New Orleans, you'll be my wife. I'll give you a little wink, and we'll have some fun down there. But safe travels and good luck, and hoping you guys kick some butt versus Kansas State this weekend.
Will do. Appreciate you, man. Have a good one. Roll Tide.
All right, that was Tyler Booker, offensive lineman for the University of Alabama, as they get ready for their Sugar Bowl game. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Come on the other side. We got a special 4-star recruit committed to University of Georgia going to be joining us. Hey, welcome back into the Players Lounge, and we're going to go back to some great recruits we have at the University of Georgia. Rod Robinson, running back from California, originally from the South, originally from South Carolina. Rod, what's going on, man? Thanks for jumping on with us today.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having me.
All right, first things first. So you grew up in South Carolina, you moved out to California your freshman year of high school, and then now back to the South to play football at the University of Georgia, 4-star running back. I want to get into that just because of the difference in culture. So I'm from Florida. I'm from Tampa. I always tell people Tampa's not really the South. I know geographically it is, but it's not like Georgia or the Carolinas or Alabama or Louisiana. What is the cultural difference for you when it just comes to football between growing up in South Carolina, California, and then now getting back to that deep South in football?
Oh, it was definitely an adjustment. Just, the different play styles out here it was in California, and then in South Carolina my freshman year, it was a lot different, but at the same time, it was a great competition all around. But it was definitely a little bit of an adjustment, but I'm glad I made the move, got the recognition that I needed. So it all worked out.
I almost did the opposite. So I took a visit out to UCLA and I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the campus. I fell in love with the stadium, the Rose Bowl, and I was ready to commit. And I was like, just maybe a little bit too far away from home. And obviously a pain in the butt for my parents to get up there. They're like, listen, you commit to UCLA, we may make 1 or 2 your games. If you stay in the Southeast, we'll make a lot more your games. So it kind of came down to Florida and Georgia for me in my decision at the end of the day. How special is football here in the South?
Living in South Carolina, I went to a lot of South Carolina games. I went to a couple of Clemson games, and then growing up an Alabama fan, I went to a couple of Alabama games. It's just the culture is amazing. That's a main reason why I want to come back to the South and play football, because of the fan bases are amazing, and there's just the culture all around, and all the fans coming out and supporting just really adds a little bit more to the game.
Do people just not, I don't want to say care. Obviously, there's a lot more to do in California, but you just being out there, can you sense it all that there's just other priorities in life, whether it's like going to the beach or I don't know, like there's a beautiful Saturday afternoon and you're in LA, would you rather go to a football game or would you rather go to, Santa Monica? Is that a big factor from you just being out there of why maybe football is not as big as it is in say the state of Georgia?
I think that's exactly what it is. I think there's just so much to do in LA, and especially if your team's not winning at the time, people aren't going to just go out there and sit in the sun and watch a football game. But they do show a little bit of support, but I feel like it's just way different in the South, and that's why I chose to come back.
Yeah, well, you chose to come to RBU, University of Georgia. I was with a couple of the greats. Keith Marshall, who's obviously one of our guys here at the Players Lounge, along with Todd Gurley as well. Really got going back when it comes to Georgia being, that label of RBU. Talk about just that, how much it means to be a part of this tradition of great running backs here at the University of Georgia.
That was the big thing for me when I made my decision, just the pedigree that Georgia held itself to. So just coming in and having a chance to be one of the next great running backs definitely meant a lot, and just learning from everything that those guys have done and just the competition level all around. It's not necessarily thinking of it as shoes to fill, but, an opportunity to definitely hold on to.
You're going to be coming to Georgia in an interesting transition for college football. We already had the expanded playoffs. It's going to get even more expanded in 2024. There's going to be more football games for you guys to play. And the one thing about running backs we all know about is like just the tread, how much wear and tear on the tires with running backs. You guys take an absolute pounding. Now you throw on more games on top of that. Just your view of being a kid that I'm sure you've watched some college football. You've talked about some of the games you went to see the transformation of college football and what you're about to jump into. Are you worried at all about the body and being able to handle a 15, 16, 17 game season at this level in the SEC?
That's another reason why I chose Georgia. Just seeing how they rotate their running backs, they prepare their running backs for the NFL so that their bodies aren't all the way tore down, and they rotate a good amount of backs, and they all produce at a high level. So that was a big thing for me too. So playing 16, 17 games, it's definitely going to be a long season, but at the same time, I think I'll be able to do it, especially if I'm getting, in the rotation with the other good backs at Georgia.
Kind of like leave your ego at the door.
Mm-hmm.
Just, understand that you're going to get yours, go out there when you're healthy and feeling good and produce, and then get out there, get a break, and let your buddy get out there too. I think it's been awesome to see. I mean, we had, like I said, 3-4 backs at my time at Georgia, all rotating, sharing time, staying healthy. That's a big thing at the end of the day. Like, what team is going to be healthy come, December into January is a team that's going to win it. And if you have 3 or 4 healthy running backs, as Georgia does right now, you're going to be in a really, really good spot. Have you been to Athens much? Like, have you been around the town at all?
I just love the little, college town feeling. There's not much to get into, so that's a good thing for me at least. But
oh, there's plenty to get into now. That downtown Athens, when you get of age, of course, is
right.
A very fun place to be. And, obviously different times of the year, you can have a little bit more fun than others, obviously focusing on football. But yeah, there's plenty of trouble to get into at the University of Georgia in downtown. You'll figure out it is a special place. It is so much fun. I think it's the best. I mean, call me biased. I think it's the best college town in America. It gives you literally everything from good food, entertainment, going out. The whole vibe is pretty spectacular. All right, another time before we let you go here, and obviously excited to get you on campus next month. What's your first goal this spring? You're an early enrollee. This is a heck of a class. Georgia's a number 2 class for, I think, a lot of the rankings, from Rivals to ESPN, On3, all that good stuff. What is your goal along with your teammates coming in this spring?
My goal is just, to keep competing. I've always been a competitor, and I don't want to lose that. So I just want to make sure I go in and do what I'm supposed to do and practice and stuff. So, going in there and just competing against one of the best defenses in the country, that was a big thing for me. So just getting in and leaving my mark early.
Well, don't get frustrated, because that defense, I keep telling everyone, it's really good this year. It was really good last year, but they're young. They are very, very young. I think they're going to be maybe one of the best defenses we've ever seen come next year with all that youth on that side of the football. Before we let you go, though, what are your interests? Like, if there's certain brands out there that you're watching this and want to say, hey, I want to partner with this guy because he's a good kid. He's obviously part of RBU there at the University of Georgia. What do you like to do outside the field?
I go fishing a lot with my grandpa, especially when I come to South Carolina. He's a huge Bulldogs fan. I mean, like, he's been a Bulldogs fan since he was born. And me growing up an Alabama fan, we've always, bumped heads there. But he was extremely excited to see me when I flipped from UCLA. So, I love to go fishing with him. I love spending time with my pawpaw. And then, I play video games in my free time. I like to play other sports like baseball and basketball.
Do you stream? Are you a Twitch guy? Are you just like playing straight up like Madden or something at the house?
I just play at the house. I might start one day, though. You never know.
Yeah. No, I've talked to a couple of guys on the team, and they're kind of want to dip their toes in the water. It's a whole new world, this whole streaming thing. So All right, man. Well, I appreciate you jumping on. Good luck. You got my number if there's any questions. Like I said, I kind of know my way around Athens, so can give you some good recommendations, but I think you'll be in good hands.
All right, thank you.
All right, that was Rod Robinson, 4-star running back. Excited to see what he can do at RBU. Man, they're just packing on more and more great running backs at the University of Georgia. Well, that's it for today's show. I hope you all have a great new year, great time. Lots of great bowl games coming up this week. Enjoy yourself, and we'll be back next week along with Brinks.TV with another great episode of the Players Lounge.